Hello, guys. This is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, the founder of Life with Lydia, and we are ending eating disorders using nothing but your brain. So, we are talking about binge eating, bulimia, overeating, just food obsession, body hate, yo yo dieting, compulsive eating, emotional eating, all of the relationships with food that turn into dysfunctional, abusive relationships with food. Those are the ones that we end. And what we know is that once someone is able to get out of that cage of food ruling your life and ruling your mind and taking you away from what is most important, then you can get out of any cage. And that is what we see in the ripple effect of freedom with incredible people all over the world, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that we have freed from their cages that food was keeping them in, that they free their cages with abusive relationships. They get themselves out of the cage of poverty. They get themselves out of the cage of self-hate. They get themselves out of the cage of delaying their life and their dreams. And it's a really beautiful thing to see happen. And in that joy, I just wanted to give a shout out to our amazing clients. Like, we have phenomenal clients all over the world that are doing so much good in the world now that they're out of the cage of their eating disorder. And one thing that I love is that, in our community, we get to be just really real and really raw, and we're celebrating together, and everyone in that community is doing something that they thought was impossible. Everyone with the courage and the fire to save their lives found us. They had the bravery and the commitment and the decisiveness to say, this is the day that I save my life. They've chosen that path, and now they're actually getting to live it. So our community is really unlike anything else, because we have people who have for 40 years battled with this struggle with food. They've been to inpatient centers. They've gone on 100 diets. They've, done, gastric bypass surgery. They've been on medications. They've lost so much in life for 40 years, and they've just been trying and trying. And now for the first time, they're getting to see themselves free in like a handful of weeks. They're like, wow, I don't think about food anymore. That doesn't take my mental energy. I have all the space back in my brain. I can go shopping and it's not a big deal. I can eat a meal. I can go out with my partner. I can have dessert with my kids. Like, I'm able to see my body heal. My energy's coming back. Oh, actually, I'm not allergic to all of these foods. Oh, wow, I don't, have depression and anxiety anymore. Like, just everyone is having miracle after miracle after miracle happen in their lives that they didn't even know was possible. So it's a really beautiful, special place. And as we stay in touch with our grads, it's fun. Like, usually once a quarter, we have like a big sort of grad reunion where everyone gets together and celebrates. And it's really fun to see the sort of celebrations from, after 8 weeks when somebody is celebrating their freedom from food, to after a year or 2 years or 5 years out, them coming back and celebrating and being like, wow, like my whole life is different. I can't even remember what it was like to have this struggle with food. Wow, like it's amazing to not hate myself anymore and to just feel all of this incredible confidence. And it's really fun to see what happens. But I'm doing this video because of a request of one of our amazing grads. She actually, she said, Lydia, sometimes you share your global beliefs, and I would love to hear more of those. And so I wanted to just share with all of you guys and shout out to, you can actually see her freedom story. It's Ann Y. If you go to lydiavideo.com, you can see her freedom story there. She's the one who requested that I do a live feed about my global beliefs. And so I thought that that was just a wonderful request. So I want to share it with you guys, and also talk about really the power of global beliefs. They're extremely transformational. You all have them. Every single one of you within the sound of my voice, every person in the world has global beliefs, and you can either have them intentionally, or you can have the ones that were handed to you by your parents or by society, and you decide what's going to serve you best. But that's one thing that we do with our community as well, is to show them how to build global beliefs that serve them best. And so let's define it real quick. A global belief is what you believe to be true about globally the world, how people are, how life works. And we all have a perspective on the world where we have beliefs, and it's not about that a global belief is true or not true. It's that global belief is how you feel about the world that just has enough evidence that you've gathered that it feels like it's absolutely true. But someone else may have a completely different global belief, and then it just picks up momentum. So, for instance, if you know somebody who thinks that people are rude, they just think that people are rude. And that's their global belief. Like, that's just how people are. Like, people are unkind, people are rude. You ask them about that, they're going to have tons of evidence. Well, this is how people are. These are how people have been rude to me. You know, people are so impolite. People are so inconsiderate. I have all this evidence. It's crazy. I moved here and my neighbors are rude, and I went to work and like people at work were rude, and like just you'll see that they've gathered evidence and they continue to manifest that. And so we actually create more and more of what our global beliefs are as we live more life. It's called the reticular activating system. It's the mechanism in your brain that essentially gathers evidence for what you already believe to be true. So that's why what people believe tends to become more and more and more truth in their mind as life goes on, even though you might look at somebody and be like, oh, like, that's not true at all. But they've just gotten more and more entrenched because your reticular activating system doesn't only look for evidence of what's true, but it also blocks, it's like putting blinders on for anything that is contrary to that evidence. And so that's how global beliefs just get stronger and stronger. But with it can go the other direction as well, right? So if somebody has a global belief that people are good and they are kind, that person has so much evidence of how people have been good and kind to themselves, to their family, and that person is likely to be in the world and being good and kind, and then they're going to be getting that back, and then they're going to be creating more situations where people are good and kind to them. And so do you see what the transformative power is of if you believe that people are rude and inconsiderate, or if you believe that people are kind and good, that you are creating the world that you live in. You are creating the evidence. You are creating how people treat you, how you treat other people, how you get that back. And so it's really, really powerful. This is actually something in our high-level mastermind Rise Academy we do a deep dive into of creating your global beliefs that serve you best. And so I want to share with you guys my global beliefs, or some of them. And as I share those, you know, some of these things are because I choose to see the world this way, because that is what I believe will create a better world. Some of these things are just such truths in my life because there has been so much incredible evidence for that it would be very difficult for me to not see that as true, because there's just so much that has gone into developing and seeing the evidence of these global beliefs. And so I want you guys to think as you go along, what are your global beliefs? How do you see the world? How do you think the world is and how the world works? How do you think that people are? And then as I share my global beliefs, I just want you to notice how they sit on your heart. Feelings or feedback. You will notice where there is a gift for you when you notice the feelings that come up when you hear someone else's global beliefs or someone else's experience or story. And so, yeah, thanks, Anne Y, for the wonderful suggestion of sharing my global beliefs. And here are some of mine. So I believe that every person deserves to know that they can be free of an eating disorder, that you do not have to live with this issue with food for the rest of your life, that you cannot have an eating disorder anymore. You can be absolutely free from it. And not everyone will choose their freedom, but I believe that every person deserves to know that they can be free. There are some people that are more committed to their fear than they are to their freedom. And those aren't our people. That's not who we coach. But I do believe that those people and everyone else deserves to know that they can be free from their eating disorder. Because what a shame, what a waste to go through life never even knowing that you could be better. Now, getting better is your choice. There is a way to do that. That's what we do every day. But I believe that every person deserves to know that they can be free of their eating disorder. And I believe that every person deserves freedom. Every person is deserving of and has earned the right because of being a human being. They deserve to live with freedom, to know what that's like, to know what it's like to wake up in the morning and know that you are the captain of your own ship, that you can make your own choices, that you get to decide and have say over your life, that you get to have freedom and peace in your mind, that you get to not be ruled by something externally controlling you. Believe that every person deserves freedom. I believe that when women are free, we change the world, and that the healing that our world needs is in the answers that free women will provide. Half of this world is incredible women, and we live in a society that is inherently misogynistic and is oppressive of women. And when women are out of that oppression and when they have the freedom over their own minds and over their own bodies, that is the answer for our world. Because all we need is smart people thinking of good solutions. And when women are obsessing about their food and body all day long, they're able to put their physical, their mental, and their spiritual energy towards the healing of the world needs. So I believe that healing women is how to heal the world. I believe that you cannot live age. And that is why to feel safe in their own bodies, to be able to feel love toward their bodies, trust toward their bodies, to be able to know I'll take care of you and know that they can keep that promise. I believe that if we put everyone else before ourselves, it hurts the people we love most along with hurting ourselves. That we must take care of ourselves. You cannot draw water from an empty well. There is no high morality or virtue in hurting ourselves and ignoring ourselves and not caring for ourselves and putting everyone else first. And that it actually hurts those people that we love most when we put ourselves last, that we must take care of ourselves. I believe that you trade the days of your life for the choices that you make. And so the journey of life is that you should be able to be in control of your own choices so that you are getting to choose your own life. I believe that no one is broken. And I believe that if you feel bad about feeling like you're broken, then that is the fire that you know that it can be otherwise. Because if you truly felt that you deserve to be broken or that you should stay broken, then you wouldn't feel that dissonance. And so I believe that no one is broken. And the very fact that you are upset about it allows you to know that it can be otherwise. I believe that no one reaches out for help that has lost all hope. So anytime that we see someone asking for help, it means that they know that it can be better, that they still do have hope. I believe that no one is born broken. I believe that eating disorders are created and not inherent. They are a side effect of the society that we live in, and that there is a way to end them all the way, and that the way that we end eating disorders is we change society and we show people how to fix the problem of the eating disorders that have already been created. And that is when eating disorders are a problem of the past, because they are created, they are not something that are inherent. I believe that the $66 billion diet industry is a symbol of the misogynistic society that we have all been raised in. I believe that when you change your patterns of thought, you can change anything in your life. I believe that Emotions are not immoral. Emotions do not need to be numbed or suppressed, that they should be fully felt and experienced. I believe that we are all racist and sexist because we live in a society that we have been taught to be that way, and that we all have the power not to be anymore, because we have the power to change the programming that society has given us. We have the power to believe something different than we have been taught. I believe that a happy life is continual growth. And I believe that a mastery of life is to feel comfortable in the discomfort of growth and to live life with as little suffering as possible. I believe that pain is part of life, but that suffering is optional. I believe that we are all going to die, so we might as well do as much good as possible with the days of our lives. I believe that you could only know who you truly are when you stop living for other people and their approval. I believe that a woman's role is not to be small and quiet. I believe that you can accept and love your body no matter what size, shape, or ability it manifests as. I believe that life is too short to spend any effort or energy on hating yourself. I believe that everyone is trying to do their best. And I believe that you will feel more kindness toward anyone when you know their true, authentic story. I believe that people can handle the truth and they have a right to it. I believe that people would rather know the truth than to believe a comfortable lie. I believe that I am more committed to people's freedom than their comfort. I believe that a successful woman is the best thing for all the people around her. I believe that if people require you to be sick or to act broken to stay in a relationship or a friendship, that you should get out of that relationship as soon as possible. And I believe that it is easier to be grateful than to be resentful. And I believe that you have a right to choose who gets to be in your life. So those are a handful of my global beliefs that I wanted to share with you guys. And I want you to think of, what are your global beliefs? What are your values? What do you believe in the world? What do you believe you have a right to in your life? The people around you, what do they have a right to in their lives? Because they're people, because they're human beings. And that's what adds purpose. And that's how we make the world a better place. And as we explore this, again, notice what came to your heart. Like, what did you feel when you heard these set of beliefs? And what echoed within you? And what do you believe? And if you believe that you deserve a better life than to be in this cage, if you believe that you deserve a mind that doesn't have to think about food all the time, if you believe that you deserve to be able to feel happy and calm and to have what is available to you on the other side of this compulsion with food, then I want you to know, and I'll share my global belief with you again, that everyone that knows the way, who is willing to step into the decision to save their lives, can be free of an eating disorder. We have seen it over and over and over, hundreds of times over, from people in every circumstance, with their health, with their finances, with their families, a huge range of circumstances with women and men all over the world. And if you want that for yourself, know that it is available for you. And it is simple as showing up for yourself for the first step. That's all that you need to do, is take the next right step. And that is, you go to lifewithlydia.com/apply. Again, that's lifewithlydia.com/apply. And you can book a free breakthrough session where we are going to work with you one-on-one to get the foundation of freedom for you. And we are going to take one of the best hours that you will have ever spent on fixing this problem. And we are going to one-on-one work with you to get the foundation of freedom, so you're clear on what's happening, so you're clear on really your values and what you want on the other side of this. And we're going to support you in being able to think of it in a way and beyond what you can do on your own, because we just get so busy on trying to keep our heads above water that we don't think about what we want once we're free. And we get so busy with just trying to go day to day and just numbing the pain of what's happening that we don't look at the true cycle so that we can break it. And we are going to help you to do that. This is the first foundational step to fixing this problem permanently, 100% for the rest of your life. Again, you go to lifewithlydia.com/apply and you can book a free breakthrough session with us so that you can be able to live in alignment with your values and what you believe. And this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, signing off. Bye, guys. Mwah.